What is going on? I'm Zedmont. We are full boost, but that is not what we're here to do right now. We're here to get into some warships. I have finally managed to get the number of keys to get into the 6 engine room. Now, 6 engine rooms, I have the dirtiest of dirty 6 engine room bases here. As you can see, I've got basically every defense. I did not get that choice node, but I do have this choice node. Extra sniper towers. Don't have smoke, unfortunately. That is on my list for later on if I decide to go get me some Seekers, but Seekers are my arch nemesis, so I probably won't be doing that. Have Kavan, have Bombardiers, boom mines, max rocket launchers, even have critters. Not a lot of people at the 6 engine room level have critters, I don't believe, from what I've seen. So have everything. Like, we've got everything except for rocket choppas, that is, and bullets. So shock launchers not maxed yet. Probably should max those just so people can't go barding them out. But for right now, I want to go get building damage. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and max those shock launchers. Gives them a little bit more health, makes them shoot a little bit faster, I do believe. And so now there's nothing I need besides that building damage. Then we're going to go up and get some more stuff and hopefully go over and get that second sky shield if time allows, or we'll just park. I have been known to park. Let's have a quick look at the win-loss record. You can see right about here, I had 5 engine rooms. I think I've done like 3, something like that. Let's just see the enemy replay here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So somewhere in this neighborhood, I went into 6, and so far it is doing incredibly well. Super duper happy with moving to 6 engine rooms. Like I said, my other account went that top road like I talked about in my early season suggestions, and it worked out incredibly well. So, I don't really know how to attack. Most of my attacks so far this season in 6 engine rooms has been with rocket choppas. This is going to be a little bit different. I don't think I need that many rocket choppas. I've been doing a split on my 2 attacks that I've done so far on this account. I've been doing this little split where I use like this long flare to send my troops up into the middle of nowhere. But I'm feeling like that might not be the best way to go on against this base. So I'm just going to do something like this, trying to send some of our bombardiers to that right-hand side, hoping to get like a natural split happening here. We'll find out very soon if I'm successful. Kind of doubt that I will be. Looks like it's not going to happen. There we go. There's the split we were after. It actually worked out fairly well. So we've got this natural split action happening. Going to get rid of some of these mines. Now, we've got critters, we've got bombardiers, we've got all of the many things. One thing we don't... I don't know what I was going with that. My brain just totally shut off. I am not used to talking to a microphone. I've not been in any meetings for work. I have not made any videos for about a week. So please bear with me as my brain turns back into talking to a microphone mode. I'm probably going to put my foot in my mouth a few times, and I'm kind of okay with that. So we're going to throw some critters over to this left-hand side, trying to keep that boom cannon occupied. Probably was a waste of critters. Also, my times are not super duper good, but because this is just the dirtiest of dirty 6 engine rooms that I have on my side, the times have been under 2 minutes, so I don't really have to rush. I am definitely nowhere near as fast at this point. I think my average time was like 2 minutes 40, 2 minutes 30 or something along those lines on my other account. So Bombardiers last a little bit longer than rocket choppas, but I just find that I don't do nearly as much damage, and I don't get that. I like to go from here across the gap down to here, and that's just not possible with Bombardiers. So might have to work on my splits a little bit. But so far, my base holding up. Now, I'm curious to see if anyone actually wipes against my base. I kind of doubt that's going to be the case, but would love to see a wipe. And what better way to entertain the YouTube fans out there than to kill the opponent's optimism? So, little name plug for Optimus Killer there. Just crushing this person. All of those bombardiers coming in. Now, I've copied a base off of the leaderboards. I believe it was off General Electric, which I believe is Skull Crusher, I think, maybe. I just basically looked at the leaderboard, someone that was in and around my level, and copied them. So kudos to you. I think it was Skull Crusher, General Electric. I don't. I If I'm totally wrong on that, apologies. Regardless, copying bases would typically copy Orion, but just didn't do it in this instance. I don't think he is in this task force. Let's have a look, see what Orion's sitting at. That right there is why I did not copy Orion. I don't recommend you copy Orion's base. I'm going to guess that he might have parked just maybe, possibly. I am at a 7 times win streak, and as soon as you acknowledge that you have a win streak, you are done for. I do not recommend ever taking a screenshot of a win streak. As soon as you do that, your win streak is done. Like, I don't know what it is. If you mention you have a win streak on Discord or Telegram, if you take a screenshot of it's just gone. I don't know if it's like internet karma coming in, what it is, but it's basically the easiest way to wipe out a winning streak is just to even think about the words win streak. So I am not a superstitious person, but it's happened to me so many times that it is utterly and completely ridiculous. So we have lost a total of 0 Bombardiers. Not going to use that second wind quite yet, hoping that sniper tower... Bombardiers like to crowd in on sniper towers, so might lose one right on that right-hand side. So far, though, so good, though. Getting that nice split, and I probably should be throwing some critters back in that back right-hand corner, but that shock blaster making me a little bit nervous. So we're going to go something like this, get those critters to land, get the shock to land a little bit later, and then all of our dudes just coming in, swinging, hoping to get rid of that rocket launcher, simply because I found that rocket launchers, I've never been concerned about rocket launchers, and this season I feel like they've ruined my life a little tiny bit. I think it's probably due to the fact that Bombardiers not super duper strong, but nonetheless, coming in, trying to get that engine room. You know what, let's flare that engine room. And then we'll do that long, super duper Hail Mary, Kamikaze, whatever the heck you want to call it, flare onto that final engine room right about there. Trying to get a shock out on the flamethrower so it doesn't burn all of our Bombardiers, artilleries, critters. Finally, a time above a respectable time. 214, not bad. As 6 engine room bases get dirtier and dirtier, it's just going to get harder and harder to beat them. 5 engine rooms, don't even go there. If you have the opportunity to move to 6 engine rooms, please do so. If you look at my win-loss rate for this season on this account, it is not super good, and that's because 5 engine rooms was difficult. But on the plus side, 5 engine rooms, you can just use heavy choppas all day long. I don't have instant training on this account. This account still has no instant training, and I haven't found a problem with it, to be honest. No instant training. Warships still going to make diamond, I think. Fingers crossed. Pretty confident, and I haven't run out of troops ever since I got heavy choppas. So if you're out there and you're thinking to yourself, should I get heavy choppas? The answer is yes, you should get heavy choppas, especially if you don't have instant training, because you don't lose a ton of them and they have a whole bunch of reserves. Let's just check to see how many reserves they actually have. So 20, you've got, what's that? If we actually, let's go, what do we got in reserves? Somewhere in that neighborhood. So 20 in reserves. I think maybe that means we can have 28 of them. I don't know. I should know the answer to that. But anyways, we got to... Oh, I almost said the words again. I almost talked about that number 8 in the bottom right-hand corner. You know what? Let's get out of here first. Before we do an attack, I wanted to show you the split that I was talking about. Let's go to this one. So, split. This is the split I was talking about. All of those mines right there, clearly set up to stop people from walking up there. So what do? I walk up there, and then Bombardiers go left, Bombardiers go right. We've got this nice little split, and then they'll all kind of just meet in the middle. And those are the kind of splits that I've been working on trying to do when people right-load their bases, but it all comes down to whatever attack fits out. I don't think that's a real Skull Crusher. That's a lowercase c. There's been a weird, creepy, uncomfortable... I hope it's a imitator. Anyways, I think there's a Skull Crusher imitator out there. I've gotten all sorts of nasty, naughty, disgusting messages, and I hope it's... I'm like 99.9% certain it's an imitator, but my God, people need to get a hobby because, yeah, it's gross. It's disgusting. And Yeah, and Skull Crusher sounds like Skull Crusher's been plagued by a little bit, which no one's got time for that. Like, that's just ridiculous. Come on. So we're going to wait a little. You know what? I'm going to drop my extra heavy chopper over here, and we'll just wait a little bit and then use a boat on the right. I hate waiting. It drives me absolutely and utterly insane. Just waiting for your troops to drop your troops hurts me. Like, it physically causes me pain. That's probably an over-exaggeration, but it just absolutely and utterly sucks to sit here and sit here and sit here. And, well, you know your opponent's attacking. Like, it's not like we're just hanging out. Our opponent is attacking. They've already got an engine room, and we just had to hold our troops back and hope that it was the right decision. So that laser has locked on where we don't care what the heck it's shooting there, so we're just going to keep cruising our troops in. Just a reminder that lasers do lock on until whatever it's shooting dies, so we can completely and utterly ignore that laser. Now, I've been very, very tempted to go get Barrage. I hate clearing mines with critters, but 6 engine rooms was way more important, so that was my choice. And so that's what we're going to do as we throw a shock out there, hoping to get the shock launcher and the Doom Cannon. We could flare that engine room back there, but the fact that our opponent's still got 4 engine rooms to go means we're just going to cruise. Don't need to rush things quite yet. Holding off on the Kamikaze flare for the second. Probably should do it right about now before that last thing goes down there. So you can flare most engine rooms that are underneath sky shields. You don't have to worry about it too much. It just gets a little bit dicey at times. Most people just can't place their engine rooms terribly well, and the fact that we don't have instant training means that Kamikaze flare right there probably cost us 2 or 3 Bombardiers, and that kind of sucks. So that's where not having instant training can really come down and bite you, because it sucks not, like, when you throw that flare to get that win towards the end, you're going to lose some troops. So you just got to make those decisions of if it's worthwhile or not. Anyways, looks like we are going to take down Sammy Dz, and I think we're going to get to, like, I've been cursed this season. I've been at like 79 out of 80 stars. I've been at 69 or 39 out of 40 stars or whatever it is. Just have been... Oh, there we go. Sammy's going to quit. We're going to beat them. I'm willing to bet almost that we're going to get to 79 out of 80 stars, because it just keeps happening to me, and then I just can't trip my way into that next rank. So I don't think that's going to be a boss battle. Look at that, 79 out of 80. So I think that was pretty obvious. Let's just see if we can't get into the diamond rank now. Boss battle. If this goes well, it's going to be my last attack of the day. I think there's going to be like 6 days left of Warships. Season 25, HQ 25. I'm not sure if that was a coincidence or not. I went back and looked, and it turns out that the last update for Boom Beach did come out in August 2020. Not sure if that's a coincidence as well. So we're going to go something like this, just waiting to see. Yep, looks like... What I like to do is I like to drop 1 troop and just see exactly where it's going to go. I wasn't sure if those Bombardiers were going to go right or left. The fact that they've started to split now is good news. And again, I just like this split where you get some of your troops going right, some of your troops going left, and everything kind of just works out for the best of it. So we're going to keep using these critters to clear mines. Terrible, terrible idea. Very, very likely, but I just like to do it. So let me know if you're using critters to clear mines, if you're not clearing mines, if you're using shock blasters. Lots and lots of options. Shock blasters, that's not what I meant to say. Barrage is what I meant to say. And then I looked at the shock blaster, and like I said, brain not necessarily firing on all cylinders at the moment. So let's get rid of that there rocket launcher, because otherwise it's can't even get rid of it. I just get a little bit nervous about rocket launchers shooting me from the side. Can we shock right there? I think we can. I think I missed it, though. Oh, look at that. See that? Those kind of shocks? That's exactly what I was talking about when I said you can get most engine rooms that are underneath sky shields. You just got to place it fairly accurately, and then boom, just like that. We're going to throw some critters under there as well. I miss all the time. So the fact that I just landed 3 of those in a row is kind of like a red letter day. Hoping to get rid of that right there. Boom mine. And then we should be able to throw 1 more shock underneath there and get that shock blaster again. So I see it every darn season. People who are not being cautious with where they're placing their sky shields, where they're placing their engine rooms, need to be a little bit more cautious, people, if you want to pick up some wins. We're going to get that last flare out there and then hopefully move into Diamond right here and right now. Will it happen? Come on, as we have a whole bunch of our troops making their way up. That's not a ton. That means we had a perfect split. There's nothing worse than watching like 90% of your troops make that long, slow, trudging walk. So I think we're in good shape here. That shock launcher is hopefully going to pick off. Look at these right here. Come on, get unshocked. And one person on my comments mentioned that HQ-25, if it brings another level of shock launchers, they're likely going to be shocking longer than, like, the shock duration is going to be longer than the time between shots, so could be interesting. Need to look at my armory to understand that a little bit better, but if you have any thoughts about HQ-25, about Warships Season 25, do hit me up in the comments. We're moving on up into Diamond, 2 accounts in Diamond, and why that's important is there's just so much at stake as far as rewards go. If we jump back out here, I'm going to show you what my sculptor looks like. This account's sculptor, if we have a look in here, just an absolute mess. 6,000, 3,000, 5,600, so many shards and no powder. So moving on up into the diamond rank is absolutely huge. If we look in here for the end of season rewards, 30 powder is so useful. So nonetheless, that is fantastic. I am pretty happy with that. I'm not going to be parking this account because, as you can see here, we have just been winning and winning and winning and winning. So this account should be able to move on up, hopefully give me a better starting point for next season. If you have any comments at all, do hit me up down below. Otherwise, thanks for coming in. I'm Zedmont. Peace.